Yeah, for some reason my computer would not let me go on. It would not let me go live, talk, or any of that stuff. So I guess I'll just do it off of here. And hopefully it won't get too loud for you all. But, hey, we've been here before. So, first, let's see if I can... see if I can get the brother on who actually wanted to hear this, because I don't see him right now. But let me see if I can play it out loud real fast and see if it plays. See if I can get the brother. Yeah. So now, okay, and ignore my background, but since right now, let's see. I don't know how to tag any. Yeah. So now, okay, and ignore my background, but since there we go. Right now. Sorry, y'all. Let me tag somebody real fast. Let's see. I don't know how to tag any. Yeah. So now, okay, and ignore my background, but since there we go. Right now. Sorry, y'all. Let me tag somebody real fast. Let's see. I don't know how to tag any. Yeah. So now, okay, and ignore my background, but since I know y'all hear the feedback. I'm finna stop the feedback and just. Sorry, let me tag somebody fast. Let's see. I don't know how to. All right, that should stop the feedback. All right, so now the new doctrine going around that. In fact, let me just show y'all real fast. This is the new doctrine going around. You have that somehow they flipped them out and they tricked everybody. So, shalom, Mr. Martin. So technically, this is Egypt is in. It seems to be Texas. All right, let's show you this. All right, this is y'all know I'm an elementary school teacher. So this is my USA map. And I like to say thank y'all for the brothers and sisters that actually believe this doctrine, so I could actually use some of my things that I had in storage. So I was able to actually pull some of these books that I was never able to use. So now, this is the map of the United States of America. Okay? This is what they're trying to say it was. So you got the Egyptian Sea, which is really the Gulf of Mexico. Egypt would really be in, this look like Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. I live in Mississippi. Alabama, Arkansas, pretty much the South. Babylon is up there in Michigan. Assyria is in Wisconsin. Israel is in California, Nevada, Oregon, Lebanon is also in California and Oregon. And I don't think nothing's in Washington. The Red Sea will be actually the Gulf of California. The Great Sea will be the Pacific Ocean. And the land of, I don't know what that is, Philistine, I think that's the land of the Philistines, would be Canada. Okay, so we got that now. We got, this is where everything is supposed to be. Okay. And what they try to do is, and it's not their fault, but what they try to do, they find similar occurrences inside of the Bible. And if America seems a little similar to it, then it automatically means that, America is the true forerunner, and the white man flipped it all and it tricked everybody. So just because when they see things are similar, they make it automatically be make it be exact. It's linear to them. With us, we know that, these things are just similar. So now, it's crazy because I tagged the people who really wanted me to address this, but I'm going to address it anyway. So, I'm not going to go through the scriptures that they use because I will let them have their bread and butter, saying that the seven streams that split off, I think it was in Deuteronomy, blah, blah, this and that. I'll let them do that, because the one thing that we realize and we got to remember, that there's a lot of cities and countries that's listed inside of the Bible. So just because something is similar to another place, that place inside of the Bible had borders, it had surroundings, it had cities and all that. So everything must line up 100% in order for it to be accurate. Okay? So the first problem we see right now, let's see what the first problem we see right now, what this is. The first problem we see right now, yes ma'am. The first problem we see right now, we have Israel and Egypt together, okay? We have Egypt, which should be on the continent of Africa, and Israel, which would be on the continent of Asia. Or some people say that Israel's in Africa too. It depends on how you look at it, but they have part of a continent inside of a country. So that's one thing that we gotta understand. Okay, the United States of America itself would be a country, but they have a continent. Parts of a continent inside of a country. So, all right, let's bring out some of the information now. The first thing a sister asked me about was about Peru. She said that the Peru in South America would actually be Jerusalem. Okay, so now the thing is with that and this. Sorry, let me go again. With this is North America, so they got Israel in North America. So Jerusalem have to be where Israel is. So now, that's one contradiction that they have amongst themselves. But let's just go look at Peru and South America real fast. And I'm just going to turn right there to it, okay? And this is not my words, this is just, let's just see what it says. Peru is a country in South America that's home to the section of the Amazon rainforest. Peru is the third largest country in South America after Brazil and Argentina. Okay, so now, how do we know off top that Peru in South America is not Jerusalem of the Bible? A, Jerusalem in the Bible was a city. Peru is a country. B, Peru has a rainforest. Jerusalem was more of a desert-like place. There was no rainforest over there in the Middle East around Israel and all that. So, no rainforest, no country. Okay, so just because they named it Peru, and Jerusalem seems like it's spelled similar, they don't have nothing to do with each other except they translated that word in Hebrew into English, and they came up with Jerusalem, just like they translated whatever Peru was into English, and it came up Peru. So the only reason they're similar is because they were translated into the same language. This does not make them the same exact place. They're in two totally different locations around there. One of them rainforest, dry, country, city. So that should stop the whole Peru is Jerusalem thing right there. Okay, now, what else I want to touch? Let's touch Mount Nebo, because there was a Mount Nebo in the Eastern world, and people are saying, well, since Utah has a Mount Nebo, then really the Mount Nebo of the Bible is in America, in Utah. And that Mount Nebo over there in the east, they made up. It's not really Mount Nebo. So let's see if we could debunk that real fast. Just with some searches. Okay, so let's go. First thing first. We got to use Hebrewic documentation, correct? So let's try to go through some Hebrewic documentation real fast. I have here the book of Enoch, Jubilees, and Jasher, just for some good documentation, okay? Let's just see what some of these things say. I have some pages marked. All right. The book of Jubilees. Once again, this is Hebrewic understanding. So this is some of the Hebrewic literature that they had. So the book of Jubilees, chapter 9. Chapter 10. Which one was it? I might be messing up. I am messing up. Sorry, y'all. Chapter 8. I'm there now. Chapter 8. So now, let's see where... I want to start around verse... let's see here. 12? I want to read from 12 to 19, if y'all don't mind. Just walk with me, y'all. This is an understanding that people want to debate. So just walk with me with this understanding, okay? Starting at 12. And there came forth on the writing at Shem's lot, the middle of the earth. So Shem's lot, what Shem got, should be considered the middle of the earth. So let me see what they're trying to say Israel was at. Let's go there again. Let's go back there. Sorry, y'all. Let's go back to there. Okay, so Israel, or land of Canaan, that would be around California. So California and Nevada, according to them, should be the center of the world, or the habitable earth that they knew back then. So, if this is true, California and Nevada should be the center. But let's keep going on. For himself and for his sons, for the generation of eternity. From the middle of the mountain range of Rapha, from the mouth of the water, from the river Tina, and his portion goes toward the west through the midst of the rivers and extended till it reaches the water of the abysses, out to which this river goeth forth and pours its waters into the sea Miat. See, this is what happens when we make big statements. So now we're missing a lot of Miats, and we're missing the river Tina. So maybe that's somewhere else. Maybe they can show us where those rivers are at later on. Maybe we just make it up. But let's keep going on. See, we're going to go into detail with some of this stuff, because all of this stuff got to fit in order for what they're saying to be true. You just can't pick and choose something similar. All of it got to fit. So now, this river flowed into the Great Sea. And they said that Great Sea was the Pacific Ocean. So, let's get a river that flows into the Pacific Ocean. So it can only be that right there. Over there in Oakland. Is that up there by Long Beach? No, Long Beach down there. Sorry, Long Beach is there. So they're up there in Oakland. I ain't been to California in a long time, so I don't know my landmarks. So that would be the only river that makes sense right there that would go into the Great Sea. So, They're down to one. They're like a lake. But anyway, we can find out what that is in anyway. But let's keep going on though. I think it's going to get interesting. And all that towards the north is Japheth's, and all that towards the south belongeth to Shem. So Japheth land will be to the north. So that will be up there by Canada, which they got the land of the Philistines. So that will be up there by Canada, I guess. Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, I guess. But let's see. And it extended to, it reaches Carousel. This is the bosom of the tongue which looketh towards the south. I don't know how we're gonna get that in California, but okay. And his portion extended along the great sea. It extended in a great line till it reaches the west of the tongue which looked towards the south. For this sea is named the tongue of the Egyptian sea. We have a problem. The Great Sea will be over here. Now, this land is supposed to be a straight shot, and it's supposed to reach the Egyptian Sea. The Egyptian Sea is over here. So, let's read it again. The portion extended along the Great Sea, and it extended in a great line, in a straight line, till it reaches the west of the tongue, which looks towards the south. For this sea is named the tongue of the Egyptian Sea. So, somehow we got to get a straight line from the Great Sea to the Egyptian Sea. And it's got to cut through all of that land right there, which it doesn't. Okay, let's see if we can get it here on a real map of the United States of America. Okay, so this will be the Great Sea here, Pacific Ocean, and we got to get a straight line down to the Gulf of Mexico. Now, we're going to have to go all the way down, and then we'll come back up and get to the Gulf of Mexico. So, it's impossible for any water to reach in a straight line from Pacific Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico. Okay? They got to do some maneuvering. So, it's not a straight line. That's not going to ever happen. Okay? It's not a straight line. But, I guess if you do this, and then you go down, you go around there. Well, that's land right there. You go through that land, and then you come back up, or you just go through that land and don't worry about the land, act like it's not there, erase it, and then we can get a straight line. But now, we see we have a problem. The Red Sea, the Great Sea is over here. The Egyptian Sea is here. And supposedly it was supposed to be a straight line to get to there of water, which is not. Okay, well, see, we got other things, we got a lot of history to go to. But let's keep reading. Once again, y'all see I'm not making this up. His portion extended along the Great Sea, and it extended in a straight line till it reached the west of the tongue, which looketh towards the south. Okay, so his portion, not the water, his portion reached toward the west till it reached the Egyptian Sea. So that means that Shem, according to this map, Shem would have got some of Ham's land. Because you have to literally go to Egypt to get to the Egyptian Sea according to this map. So sorry, it's not the water. It was his portion. For this sea is the tongue of the Egyptian Sea. But let's keep going on. And it turned from here towards the south, towards the mouth of the Great Sea, on the shore of its water, and it extended to the west to Africa. That's supposed to be Africa. So, I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see how we got to do this right here. Let's get a Let's get a world map. Let's get a world map. Let's see if it pull up for me. My internet been acting crazy. We'll try to get a world map and see, just see how it look. And it says, I'm gonna read it together. And his portion extended along the great sea, and it extended in a straight line till it reaches the west of the tongue, which looketh towards the south. I don't see that nowhere, but anyway, for this sea is named the tongue of the Egyptian sea. And it turned from here towards the south, towards the mouth of the great sea, on the shores of its water, and it extended to the west to Africa, and it extended till it reaches the waters of the river Gihon, and to the south of the waters of Gihon, the banks of this river. And it extended towards the east till it reaches the Garden of Eden. To the south thereof, to the south and from the east of the land of Eden, and of the whole cast it turneth to the east, and proceeded till it reaches the east of the mountain named Rapha, and it descended to the bank of the mouth of the river Tina. Now, I don't see none of that in the United States of America, so I'm not going to act like that I'm trying to find that. So I'm not even going to do that, but let's see here. Verse 19. And he knew that the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies. See, I like that because now it's actually taking this back to the temple, how the Most High laid the earth out like the sanctuary. So, and he knew the Garden of Eden is the Holy of Holies. So just like the temple had the Holy of Holies, the Garden of Eden would be the Holy of Holies. And the dwelling land of the Lord. And Mount Sinai, the center of the desert. And Mount Zion, the center of the navel of the earth. These three were created as holy places facing each other. So, Mount Sinai would be in the desert. So they got Mount Sinai in, is it Utah? I'm not sure where they got Mount Sinai at. They only talk about Mount Nebo. So I just know it's in a desert. So the United States got a lot of deserts in the West. So it's going to be around Nevada, Utah-ish, Arizona, if that's what we're going to do. But it's going to have to be in the center also. And the Garden of Eden would be somewhere around there. So big shots to Idaho or Oregon because y'all really have the Garden of Eden there. And let's see what Ham got. Let's see. Verse 25. For Japhet came for the third portion beyond the river Tina to the north and overflows its water, and it extended northeasterly the whole region of God, and to all the country east thereof. And it extended northly to the north, and it extended to the mountains of Quilt toward the north, and towards the sea of Muak, and the goeth forth the east of Gadar, as far as the regions of the waters of the sea. And it extended until it approaches the west of Pharaoh, and it returned towards Epharek, and it extended easterly to the waters of the sea of Miat. And it extended to the region of the river Tina in the northeasterly direction until it approached the boundary of its waters toward the mountain Rapha. And it turned around towards the north. And the land which came forth for Japhet and his sons and the portion of his inheritance, which he possessed for himself and his sons for their generations forever. But it is cold, and the land of Ham is hot, and the land of Shem is neither hot nor cold, but it is blended cold and heat. Well, according to this map, the land of Shem would be, according to this map, the land of Shem would be around, Canaan would be around, Nevada, Oregon, California, not up to Washington, but it'll be over in Utah, Arizona. So it's not supposed to be hot nor cold, but it is blended of cold and heat. I don't know if y'all ever been in the West Coast, but it's pretty hot out there. Okay? And it's pretty cold out there. So they said it is blended cold and heat. So I guess they're saying that the seasons changed. So the land of Ham is hot. So Ham's land would be Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama-ish. More Texas, Oklahoma, I think. Yeah, it looks more like Texas, Oklahoma. So his land, which would be, let's see here. Let's see. Let me go back. His land is supposed to be hot. So Texas is supposed to be hot. Oklahoma is supposed to be hot. Kansas is supposed to be hot. I'm a truck driver. I don't think it's too hot out there. I think it's just naturally like nature intended for it to be. Not too hot, not too cold. Hot in the summer, cold in the winter. Pretty much the same thing throughout most of the United States. So I don't think it will be considered too hot in Texas. Maybe over there, closer to the equator, but not over here in the United States. But I don't know, that's you if you want it to be hot or cold. All I know is Japhet's land is supposed to be cold. Shem land is neither hot nor cold, but it's blended cold and heat, pretty much lukewarm. And the land of Ham is supposed to be hot. Now, I'm going to see if I can find something real fast. Let me see. Japhet land, blah, blah, blah. Let me see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. So we know that Shem got the middle of the earth. And let's see where it said Ham got. I'm trying to see if I can find it real fast. Do you believe Shem and Ham, according to the Harrison, drawn to the bosom Noah, right in the Shem, the Egyptian sea. It don't go into these. Okay, there you go, right there. And for Ham came forth the second portion beyond the Gihon towards the south and to the right of the garden, and it extended towards the south and extended to all the mountains of fire because of the heat. So that would be somewhere in Texas. And it extended towards the west to the sea of Atel. So to the west to the sea of Atel. Well, according to everybody, that would be the Red Sea. Keep going west, right? That would be the Red Sea, the Great Sea, or what we call the Gulf of California and the Pacific Ocean. So we got too many oceans and seas being the same thing. So now the Great Sea is the Pacific Ocean, the Red Sea is the Gulf of California, and it's also the Sea of Muak. So now we have one sea being a lot of different bodies of water. It says, and it goes toward the north to the limits of Gadar, and it goes forth to the coast of the waters of the sea, to the waters of the Great Sea, till it draweth near the river Gihon, and goeth along the river Gihon till it reaches the right of the Garden of Eden. And for Japhet, he got to the river Tina, to the north, the overflows of its water. And we went through that. So what I'm saying is, all right, y'all, all of the stuff got to line up. See, when people pull out a scripture and say, hey, this scripture sounds like this region in America. Because it sounds similar, it doesn't mean it's the same. So, once again, a lot of this stuff got to line up. Not just one or two of the things, but a lot of the stuff got to line up. So now, we got to find the land of Canaan in California. They got to call it Canaan. Okay? There's got to be, let's see here. Let's see what else we got. Sorry, y'all. I don't want to concentrate too much. I just want to skip around. And this is for my people dealing with Japhet in the book of Jasher, because we're trying to tell everybody, hey, y'all, Esau is not the white man. No matter how much you want Esau to be the white man, he's not the white man. So I'm just going to go through a little of Japhet's lands real fast, which should be somewhere in the United States of America also, because we got Ham, we got Shem, but you mean to tell me Japhet didn't make the cut? He had to make the cut somewhere, but let's see here. The book of Jasher, chapter 10. And I'm just going to read off some of these lands of Japhet, and you tell me if some of this stuff sounds familiar to you. Verse 7. And these are the sons of Japhet, according to their families: Gomer, Magog, Media, Javan, Tubal, Meshish, and Tyrus. These are the children of Japhet according to their generation. The children of Gomer according to their cities were the Frankum, who dwell in the land of Franza. So this is where we're going to get France from. By the river Franza, by the river Sanaa. I'm not even going to go to that map to look for that. The children of Raphath are the Bartanum, who dwell in the land of Bartonia. Let's see what else we have. I'm just going through the ones that sound familiar. Targamar. Let's see. The children of Javan are the Javanim. Magdonia. Oh my God, let's see here. We got the mountains of Job. They conquered the land of... Oh, here we go here. And they conquered the land of Italia. We have Italy. Remain there unto this day. And the children of Chittim are the Roman. These are the Romans who dwell in the valley of... What's that? Canopia. The river Tiberu. Cities found, Cush, Mizraim, all that. So I was just naming some of them, the ones that look familiar. Italy, you got the Italians, you got France, then you got Rome. So these are the descendants of Japhet. This is the land they went to. So 9 times out of 10, once you go to all these places, this is where you find who we call today the white man. So is it a coincidence that all of these white cities are named after the sons of Japhet? I don't think so. I believe that Japhet would be the progenitor. Sorry, I got it. Progenitor of the white race or the Indo-European race. I believe that would be Japhet. None of these places right here, Mount Seir, none of those places, blah, blah, blah. Ain't no need to go through them. You're not going to be able to find them in the United States of America. But I want to hit some of this because, I mean, it's great that I'm able to go through and use some of this information. So I just want to just go through some of it. Egypt, right here. We got Egypt right here, right? Caesar was coming to Egypt, and Cleopatra and Antony were dead, but made an addition to his kingdom by giving him not only the country which had been taken from him by Cleopatra, but besides that, Gadara and Hippos, and Samaria, and moreover, the maritime city, Gaza, and Anthedon, and Joppa, and Strato's Tower. Where's all this stuff at in the Americas? We're missing a whole lot of things in America. Where's Samaria? Where's Gadara? Where's Strato's Tower with its temple in its citadel? We're missing all of that stuff. What else? Let's see what else we're missing. And right now I'm in the book of Josephus, just saying some of the things that we're missing and before this all to be about America. We have a lot of people that was killed by the Romans inside of Jerusalem dealing with the waters, and it was a stink of dead bodies and shipwreck. So we should find some of that history dealing with, let's see what y'all said it is, the Pacific Ocean. Yes. So we should find something in history in dealing with the Pacific Ocean about thousands and thousands of dead bodies and shipwrecks happening and occurring because of a war in the first century. It's got to be there somewhere. It's got to be documented. Okay? Because all of this stuff happened here. That means they documented it. And then people just flipped it around and they made the land actually be over there. So we got to find the documentation here somewhere. It's got to be here in this place. Since this place is, I'm in Egypt right now. And I guess because I'm so close to Tennessee, who has Memphis, and Memphis was a part of Egypt, I guess we're making it all connect. So I need to see some of this stuff. All right, so now, let's see here. The legions had orders to encamp at the distance of 6 furlongs from Jerusalem, and at the mount called the Mount of Olives, which lies over the city on the east side, and is parted from it by a deep valley interposed between them, which is named Cedron. So I need the Cedron Valley, or the Cedron, no matter how you want to pronounce it. I need the Cedron Valley, and I need the Mount of Olives to be on the east side of Jerusalem. So we have Jerusalem somewhere up here. We got to have a Cedron Valley somewhere up here. We got to. So whenever y'all find it, please let me know where the Cedron Valley is, where is the Mount of Olives, and where is actually Jerusalem. You just say Israel is right there, and on this mount, I mean, it was very smart because you really don't have any borders or boundaries. So you don't know which state actually you're saying who was in what. So you got Jerusalem right there in a bunch of rocks, whatever it is. So I could only impose that that Jerusalem is somewhere in Nevada, Arizona, Utah-ish. Probably, it looks like Nevada. So we need the Mount of Olives to be in Nevada. That's interesting. Okay. Probably by Las Vegas. And we need the Cedron Valley somewhere also. So, I mean, just for y'all to find that information for me. Because I know after this, we got some brothers and sisters who's going to really go in this and really show me the errors of my ways. Let's see something about Jerusalem now. The War of the Jews, Book 5, Chapter 4, Section 1. The city of Jerusalem was fortified with 3 walls, and on such parts as was not encompassed with unpassable valleys. In Nevada, we had to find that. For in such places it had but one wall. The city was built upon 2 hills, which are opposite to another, and have a valley to divide them asunder. Okay. Y'all gonna show me that one day. Y'all gonna be able to show me those 2 hills which Jerusalem was built upon. Y'all gonna be able to show me that. And now also, speaking of that, Jerusalem, first of all, it had to be more of an agricultural place. And also, may I add that it was thousands upon thousands of animals coming and being slaughtered. So we need to see that trade route somewhere where these animals and where all these people yearly for thousands of years, well, 1,000 years, or I could say maybe under 1,000 years if you don't want to do 1,000 years. But it's going to be a long time where all of these people was flowing into Nevada or California or Idaho or Utah. It's going to have to show up somewhere where hundreds of thousands of people was coming to Nevada every year to sacrifice animals and to have great festivals. We need to see that in Nevada because it's in the Bible. So it has to be showed throughout some history documentation in Nevada that was going on. And the daily sacrifice was stopped in Nevada. And Rome, and I'm going to hit that in just a second. And Rome came over to Nevada, or Rome came over to Utah, and Rome came over to Arizona and sieged it. And destroyed million plus Jews and took them back to Rome and according to you all, they migrated 1 million and something Jews from Jerusalem to Egypt, but they were supposed to go on ships. So they went from Israel all the way wherever that is to the Great Sea, and then they went down the Great Sea. They went all the way over here. They went through that land somehow, and they came all the way back up to the Egyptian river, and then they went into Egypt. That's exactly what happened, according to you all. Now, that's Josephus. Well, once again, thank y'all for letting me use some of this information. Ignore my room. My kids got it messed up. Sorry about that. Now, let's see if we can go to how far is Rome from America? Because Rome destroyed Jerusalem. And if America is in Jerusalem, that means Rome came over from there all the way over there to siege Jerusalem. And then they took them from there all the way to there to put them in slavery. And then they went all the way back home. This is what we're trying to teach people. So once again, let's go through it again. Rome was over here, right? So they found out that Jerusalem has been rebellion. Who knows who voyaged those thousands of miles just to go tell the Romans, hey, those people all the way over there are rebellion. So let's go get them. And then he get the army together and take them over this long voyage, which probably would have killed most of the Roman army itself. And then they got they wouldn't went through there. Since they was on ships, surely they wouldn't have docked over there and had their army walk from Maine all the way over to California. That would have took forever. So they would have docked those ships. They would have went down south. Then they would have went there. They would have hit a little edge of the South America somehow, cut through that land. And then they would have came back around and went in from that way. They would have did all of that stuff to stop Jerusalem from disobeying Roman command. So now, this is how far Rome is from America. Now, I don't know how much that is in miles. You can convert it over. But now, let's see how far Rome is from the Jerusalem that they say where Jerusalem is. That's starting to make a little bit more sense, don't it? Don't it make a little bit more sense how Rome would have came over and sieged Jerusalem right there? Well, this is where they say Jerusalem is. You know, the white man, y'all say he flipped the map around. So this is the map he gave us. Now, wouldn't that make a little bit more sense for that And that is, how far was that? They said 46 hours, blah, 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 this and that. But wouldn't that make a little bit more sense when you're talking about you're ruling the earth, the habitable earth, and you're making sure everybody's under your command, and you're finna get ready to cause war on the place? Don't you think that the voyage from here to there would be a little bit more realistic than from there to there? I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, I'll let y'all be the judge on that. So now, let's hit Mount Nebo now, because a lot of people want to talk about Mount Nebo. All right, let's see what information we have for Mount Nebo. See if I have any Mount Nebo in... Here we go right here. Let's just read Mount Nebo dealing with who they say, or where they say Mount Nebo is, you know. I'm talking about they as in the biblical people. Because Mount Nebo, according to people, Mount Nebo is really in the United States of America and Utah. So let's go see what the biblical people say about Mount Nebo. All right, Mount Nebo. After 40 years leading the headstrong Israelites in the desert, Moses stood on the windswept summit of Mount Nebo and viewed the promised land of Canaan. After having been told by God, you shall not cross over there. On a clear day, today's pilgrims can see the panorama Moses viewed: the Dead Sea, the Jordan River Valley, Jericho, Bethlehem, and the distant hills of Jerusalem. Mount Nebo is in western Jordan at 820 meters high. And it looked down 1,000 blah, blah, blah. It looks down into the nearby Dead Sea. Alrighty. Early Christians from Jerusalem make it a pilgrimage. Alrighty now. So now, it said 2,226 miles from Rome to Palestine, about 4,800 miles to America. That's a big difference, ain't it, Mr. Bell? That's a big difference. Oh, ooh-wee. But also imagine how much more, first of all, how long that would take by itself. But then imagine, I'm pretty sure that wouldn't have been a nice boat ride over those oceans. But let's keep going on. Mount Nebo. All right, so now we have Moses going on top of Mount Nebo. You know, they went through the wilderness. He went on top of Mount Nebo, and he was able to see the promised land, right? So let's look at Mount Nebo in Utah. Okay. Mount Nebo rising 11,877 feet in Juab County, which people are probably going to say, hey, look, there's Jacob. There's Juab, there's Jacob. They named that after Jacob. But let's keep going. North central Utah, U.S., it is the highest peak in the Wasatch Range, named after the mountain in Jordan where Moses is believed to have died. So you mean to tell me that this mountain was named after that mountain? So this mountain did not predate that mountain. This mountain wasn't named, and that mountain was named after it. But this mountain was named after that mountain. Okay, well, let's see. It lies within the National Forest. It was declared a federal wilderness in 1984. The mountain is a popular destination for hikers. So now let's see if we can see something real fast. Let's see if we can see something. I want to compare and contrast how this mountain is. All right. So let's look at Mount Nebo let's see here. This is the Mount Nebo they show you. This is the Mount Nebo they show you. This is what they say that it looks like. Now, I see a lot of hill places, a little vegetation. You got the river right there. But it looks, kind of dry. Kind of, dusty. Dirty. Let's see if we can get a better picture of it real fast. Let's see if we can get I'm just want to see if I can get a better picture of it. When y'all say that it's probably hot over there, kind of dry. Let's see if we can get it here. Like I said, my internet been acting crazy, so I want to see if it'll pull up. All right, here we go. So this is so this pretty much fits the theme of the Bible dealing with, because a while ago we read that Mount Sinai was in the desert. So we just read Mount Sinai was in the desert. So these mounts are close to each other. So this is more of a desert terrain. You see what it looks like right there? All right, now let's go to the Mount Nebo, the Mount Nebo in Utah. Let's see what that Mount Nebo looks like. Let's see if we can find that Mount Nebo. This is the one in Utah. Now, vegetation, snow. Wow, look how beautiful that looks. I mean, after leaving dry Egypt and all that stuff, who would not want to just chill at Mount Nebo if this is what it looked like? So let's see what all we can do at this Mount Nebo. See if it tells us. Oh, first of all, it's in the national forest. So you mean to tell me that the the Mount Nebo that Moses went on actually was in a forest? I mean, he went through a forest? I mean, this is what we're gonna do? That's the Dead Sea right there. All right, we'll hit that in just a second. But I was looking at some of the, let's see what all we can do. And this Mount Nebo in Utah. We can go biking, family, hiking, wildlife, outdoor recreation, team building. I also read earlier that they had a place you can go fishing. There was plenty of water, all of that great stuff. I don't think that Mount Nebo and Moses now was such luxurious. I don't think it was full of luxury. I don't think it's a place that they wanted to take their family to. I don't think it was a family event. I think they was concentrated more on the promised land, because the promised land is what was flowing with milk and honey. Not Mount Nebo. Mount Nebo wasn't supposed to be flowing with milk and honey and plenty of wildlife and fishing and great fun and a terrain, and it was in a national forest. And no, I just don't see it. And plus, we're supposed to be able to see. It was a few things that we were supposed to see. I clicked off the page, but in the horizon, when the sky looked real good, we were supposed to be able to see what the Dead Sea and the land of Canaan and all of that stuff. So, if you are in, let's see here, the Dead Sea, or whatever they call it, the Great Sea, I think that was in, let's see here, that was in over here, right? Pacific Ocean. And Mount Nebo was in Utah. So, according to them, you get on top of Mount Nebo in Utah, right? Let me find Utah. I'll get my phone right. There we go. You get on Mount Nebo in Utah, right? And you're going to look over there and you're going to see the Great Salt Lake. Okay? So, that's supposed to be the Dead Sea? Is the Great Salt Lake supposed to be the Dead Sea? Is it? Because I thought the Great Sea was over here. I don't even know what y'all calling the Dead Sea now. I'm confused. I thought the Dead Sea, I'm sorry, the Red Sea that is down there. Oh, Edom was down. I didn't know Edom was there. You had Edom on there. Wow. So we got the Red Sea, the Great Sea over there. So according to them, in Utah, you get on top of the mountain, you can see all that. From Utah, you should be able to see over the state of Utah, you should be able to see past Nevada, past California, all the way over to the Pacific Ocean on a good day. Not when it's raining and cloudy, man. You're supposed to be able to see. Now, y'all go outside right now and just look to your left and right and see how far down the street you can see. You can see. Now get on top of your house and see how far you can see. But I guess if you get on a high enough mountain, you can see maybe thousands and thousands of miles. I don't know. But either y'all gonna call this Great Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake, the sea, the Dead Sea now. And then we got a whole other problem. Or we can see a whole lot of stuff on Mount Nebo. We can see all of this on Mount Nebo. All of that right there in Utah. Utah got some stuff to brag about. Okay? That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. And now, this other stuff. Let's go through it. I have a Rose Book Biblical Charts, Maps, and Timeline. Let's see here. I just wanted to show some of the maps. Alright, so this is the stuff that they got, right? They got Babylon, Assyria, Mesopotamia looking like this. Y'all have it looking like this. Okay, so you got it up there. You got Babylon and Mesopotamia and Assyria up there by the Great Lakes. You have to because you know there's some water somewhere around there. So you got to put it somewhere. So you got to buy the Great Lakes. Okay. They got it by, let me go back. Let's see. The Tigris River, the Euphrates River, there's the Persian Gulf. They got Nineveh, Mount Ararat, that's Media. Persia, Canaan, Jerusalem, Cyprus, the Mediterranean Sea. Look how close they got Jerusalem to these bodies of water. And look how far away y'all got Jerusalem over there from their bodies of water. Now, I don't know. But they got this Red Sea right here to the, what is that? To the west, no, to the east of Egypt. And y'all have the Red Sea to the west of Edom. Well, to the south
west of Edom. I don't even know what land it is, but y'all don't even have it by Egypt. So they got the Red Sea to the east of Egypt, and y'all don't even have the Red Sea by Egypt. Somebody lying.
I don't know. Somebody lying. Somebody mouth off. I mean, I don't know. I mean, y'all really see it right there. Egypt, look, Egypt and the Red Sea, right there.
Egypt and the Egyptian Sea, and then you got the Red Sea all the way over there. So I mean,
I don't know. Well, I know, but I'm telling y'all, this is what y'all doing when y'all just take one or two things that sound similar and you try to make a whole doctrine out of it. You see how it just don't add up. And then they got like all of the Assyrian, where they showing, these are pretty much the same land. They're just showing you how each one of them ruled it. And you can see how the rulership expanded as the empires progressed. But now I want to see here. We have Idumea, which will be Edom, in the land of Judea, which has also the land of Samaria, all in the same. Then we got the Jordan River, and then we have Mount Nebo over there, right? And then connected to close to the Mount Nebo, we have the Dead Sea. Okay, so according to them, I'm gonna show y'all how they gonna have to do this. And there's Qumran, where this is where the Dead Sea Scrolls were found at, which is right out of the Dead Sea, right? So according to them, Qumran has to be here in America also. So according to them, the Dead Sea Scrolls was found in Utah. So, and then, okay, sorry y'all, I didn't mean to laugh, but Mount Nebo, and then we got the Dead Sea. All right, let's see if we can make this happen. Mount Nebo, Dead Sea. And I don't know exactly where Mount Nebo is in Utah. I'm just going to put it close to Salt Lake City. I don't know exactly where it's at. If y'all can find out where it's at, please let me know. But we got Mount Nebo, the Dead Sea. So let's see if we can get, Mount Nebo, Dead Sea, Jerusalem. So we should have Mount Nebo will be, according to them, somewhere here. The Dead Sea will be there. And then Jerusalem got to be in Nevada somewhere. It got to be. It's got to be in Nevada. But then they got Judea and Idumea in Nevada. And here they got Edom down there by, what is that? Is that Arizona? New Mexico? Look like Arizona. So Arizona would be Idumea. Jerusalem would be in Nevada. And Mount Nebo will be in Utah. They will have to make that right. Yeah. Because Edom is actually Idumea. So on their map, they got Edom right there. Jerusalem over there. And it's kind of hard to tell from this map that they got. But, I mean, all right, here we go. We got Edom to the southeast. There we go. Of Jerusalem. So, Edom to the southeast of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem is right here, and Idumea is right. It's actually that whole, it's part right there. So this is more, where we at? This is more south or southwest.
It'll be the south or southwest, definitely not southeast. So the whole spot is off again. It's not lining up. Their map is not lining up with that map. So, and then once you have the Dead Sea, the Dead Sea is actually to the the Dead Sea is actually to the east of Edom or Idumea, and Edom is down there, and there's no body of water to the east of it. And even on the map, it'll be over there in our Arizona. There's no body of water to the east of it. You see how it's not adding up. It don't make sense. This is what happened when you just jump the gun and then you talk to people who don't study the Bible or who don't read the Bible. So it sounds good because you're talking to people who don't even understand the Bible anyway. So it's easier to get a following behind people who don't understand. I mean, because you can tell them anything. You can say, hey, look, Mount Nebo's in Utah. There's a Mount Nebo in Utah. You know, they lied about who you are, so they lied about where Mount Nebo is too. That it doesn't even go together, but somehow they're making it. Here you go. The point is, all life started in the Americas, north and south. No. See, but once again, I'm going and proving all of this using maps. So hopefully you saw where I showed you that Peru could not be Jerusalem because Peru is a country and Jerusalem is a city. So hopefully you was able to catch that point. So now, we got all that. The world of the first Christians. What else? Paul's journey. This is what Paul went through. He went from Jerusalem to Syria. That body of water right there. You see that body of water right there? Yeah, they said Paul's journey was, and when he went to Asia and all that stuff, and he went down and went back across and all that stuff. It's not even on that map. Neither is it on this map. The way that the journey that they got Paul making is impossible from this perspective. From the United States of America perspective, Paul could not have did what he did. He could not have taken that route. And I still need to know what Cappadocia, where are the 7 churches that Paul wrote? I need to know where they at. Like, if anybody can tell me where they at, I mean, will they be in Canada? The 7 churches that Paul wrote. I mean, not Paul, sorry, John the Revelator. Y'all not going to be able to find the 7 churches that Paul wrote. But Paul did write some churches, so... But I stand correct. I mean, my point was the 7 churches that John the Revelator wrote. I need to know where those in Asia Minor are at. Are they in Canada or Utah or Oregon or Washington? I need to know where those 7 churches are that John the Revelator wrote. I need to know. If y'all can ever find them, please let me know. They can't be too far away from California. I know that, according to that map that they drew. So now... And then these are just, okay, so I'm done with my maps now. So let's keep going. So let's keep going. So now, my book, Bible Lands. And I don't think I got to keep going. I think I don't want to, beat a dead horse. But, look, this is Gilgamesh, right? This is Gilgamesh. Found in Iraq. Where is that in the Americas? We need to see some of these things. We need to see this. Oh yeah, I hit that in just a second. But I need to see some things. Because first it was Peru. Hold on. First it was Peru was Jerusalem. But now we know that Peru is actually a country, and it can't be Jerusalem because Jerusalem is a city. So now, where can you find Peru dealing with Jerusalem. You can't. It doesn't. It's not. It's not there unless Peru copied from Jerusalem. I mean, you can't get around it. I'm going through the research. So now, Alexandria, the second largest metropolitan city in Egypt after Cairo. So if Egypt was in Memphis, that means Alexandria is in Memphis. And we have this big body of water that need to be found somewhere in Memphis. Mr. Don, you in Memphis. You live in Memphis. Can you tell me where that big body of water... Now, we cross over that bridge. So, is that bridge it? Is it like this? So, this would be what? West Memphis, Arkansas? I don't know. I mean, where are these things at? We got to find... See, all this stuff that they found in that so-called Egypt over there, Valley of the King. See, a lot of people don't understand that there's more... I know that the rainforest is over there. I said that earlier. I said the rainforest was over there earlier when I went through that. But there's more architects or archaeology or all of that stuff outside of what people is presenting. There's a whole world out there where people do this stuff for a living. So everything has to line up. Okay, you just can't find one thing inside the scripture and say, hey, that sounds like America, so I'm going to go there. No, people have devoted their lives to this stuff. Like this right here. They said that is fine. This Abu Simbel, a temple in ancient Nubia built by Ramesses II and dedicated to himself. You're supposed to be able to find this inside the United States of America. You're supposed to be able to find this inside the United States of America, since Egypt is supposed to be in Texas. You're supposed to be able to find this in Texas. You're supposed to be able to find this, okay? All this stuff, this stuff is supposed to be found in the United States of America. Look, all of this. This is Ephesus. Ephesus that Paul wrote. This is Ephesus. That's the ruins of Ephesus. How you doing, Mr. Caleb? This is Ephesus. The ruins of Ephesus, what Paul wrote. So, I need to see this Ephesus or an Ephesus period in California. I need to see it. I got to see Ephesus in California. I got it. Look. Qumran. You remember Qumran by the Dead Sea Scroll, or by the Dead Sea? This is where they got the Dead Sea Scrolls from. And this is supposed to be a bath, I know. Yep, an ancient purification bath found in Qumran near the Dead Sea. So these ancient baths found in Qumran was supposed to be in Nevada. Is this in Nevada? They found the Dead Sea Scrolls in Nevada? Is it in Nevada? I mean, I need to know where they finding this stuff at. The Valley of Eli. Where's that at? Where's the Valley of Eli at? They're supposed to be in Israel. Look, that's what it's supposed to look like. So I need to see this in Nevada. This is supposed to be in Nevada. It just doesn't add up. Now, I'm about done because I don't have to. I mean, so many books I have to prove from. Look, now I have my encyclopedia of the ancient world. Like I said, thank y'all, because I just had these books sitting on my shelf and they were just collecting dust. So now I'm able to pull from some of the stuff. All right, we got the things from the Hebrews right here, right? It's a section about the Hebrews and what the Hebrews was making and all of that stuff. And the Canaanites, the stuff that they was making and stuff. And for some reason, they have a little picture of what it's supposed to look like. So we have Israel somewhere by the Dead Sea. Then we have Tyre and Sidon, right? We know that Tyre was destroyed by Alexander the Greek. So now
I need to find out where that Tyre is that was destroyed by Alexander the Greek, because we know that Tyre was a water city, and the way that Alexander destroyed him was he filled up the sea full of debris until he was able to make a bridge, and he was able to go over and siege Tyre. I need to see that in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, I want to see that place of Tyre in the Pacific Ocean, and I want to know how long it took him to make debris hit the bottom of the ocean, and he built a bridge across the ocean, and he destroyed Tyre, and how none of that is still here today. I need to see that in the Pacific Ocean. I need someone to pull some documentation of that in the Pacific Ocean. Okay, I need to see it. Or by the Great Salt Lake Sea. What is that? Let me stand up real fast so I can say the correct name. The Great Salt Lake. I need to see it by the Great Salt Lake. If you can't show me by the Pacific Ocean, I need to see the same thing by the Great Salt Lake. I need to see where Alexander the Greek came over, crossed over the Great Salt Lake into Utah and destroyed Tyre, because Tyre got to be somewhere close to Utah. He destroyed Tyre, which was a city, a coastal city. The city was on the coastline. So, sorry, that can't be the Great Salt Lake because it's surrounded by mountains. So that's got to be close in the Pacific Ocean, which would make everything off now, because we can't have Tyre in the Pacific Ocean and then Israel in Nevada or in Utah. It can't happen. It's too much ground to cover. It can't happen. It don't make sense. So now, let's keep going on. Mel, I can't look at a photo where people who have an ideal that America is actually Egypt, and Israel is exactly in America, and they created a website and some pictures to go with what their understanding. I'm pulling pictures from people who are not biased and who don't care. They're just bringing out the information. So that's what I'm pulling from. I'm trying to pick from unbiased sources. See, I picked from Bible lands that concentrated on the lands of the Bible. I'm pulling right now from the Encyclopedia of the Ancient World. Now, this is what they're saying is going on with the ancient world. See, we have the river Euphrates, we have Babylon, river Tigris, we got Nineveh, Nimrod, Ashur, Persian Gulf, the Mediterranean Sea. Pretty much all of the things that the Bible says around the same place that the Bible said. But we got to find this exact same layout in America. I need to find where Nineveh is, where Joppa is in America. I need to see when Job got swallowed by a whale in the Pacific Ocean, then he went right back to Joppa and he ministered to them. I need to see some of that. I got to see it. I got to see it. So, I mean, you can send me your pictures, but I have pictures right here too from different sources. Not just one source, a bunch of sources. And we have archaeological evidence and all of that stuff. See, we have more stuff with the river Euphrates in Babylon. See, for some reason, people believe that Babylon is close to the river Euphrates, but we have Babylon here close to the Great Lakes. I don't know. You know, maybe. So we can count here. Let's see here. We got Babylon there, and then Babylon is supposed to be by the Persian Gulf, and we have Media up there, which they don't even have Media, but there's a body of water there. Then there's a river Euphrates and a body of water there, and a body of water there, and Babylon's there. So we don't have none of that on this map of Babylon. We have a Great Lake here and a Great Lake there, and we're still missing a few more bodies of water. I guess if you go into the detail, put it all the way up, you can find stuff. But we still have other stuff. Like here we have Caspian Sea, Black Sea, Sardis,
We got Egypt over here by the Red Sea. Y'all got Egypt on the opposite side of the Red Sea. We have Egypt by the Red Sea. You got Egypt on the opposite side of the Red Sea. So to me, this looked like somebody just created a map and put Israel names, put biblical names all on it. That's what it seems like to me. So now, I don't know, it might seem the other way to you. But now, and then we have all of these pyramids in Egypt too that we got to find. We got to find these pyramids in Egypt because Egypt will be in Texas. So we got to find these pyramids in Texas. So Texas is supposed to have these camels and these pyramids. I need to see this in Texas, okay? I done went through Texas several times. Like I said, I'm a truck driver. Never seen a pyramid or camels. I need to see it. It seems like camels will be in places with like a desert place. It seems like it, but maybe it's not. So I just need to see these facts, these places that people can't move and say it's another place. I need to see this. See, some of this information is out of the Bible because the Bible was concentrating on Israelites. The Bible wasn't concentrating on the Egyptians. To understand what Egypt had, you got to go through Egyptian information. So now we're looking at some of Egyptian information because we have Egypt in Texas. So I need to see this Egyptian information in Texas. Unless they made it up and then they hired people to create these pyramids for apparently no reason to trick the whole world. They put thousands upon thousands of hours to trick people. They made pyramids for no reason, just to say, hey, it's over there. So I know everything has been altered except the information that people have, right? All information has been altered except the information that says Egypt is in America. That information is correct. When somebody say Egypt is in America and they can't prove it, that information is correct. But once you go on top of books, on top of books, on top of books, showing that Egypt can't be in America, that information is altered. You see how that sounds like? No, it sounds a Zionist agenda would be telling you what is not really there. This is what a Zionist agenda would say. A Zionist agenda would say, hey, I know you see all of those. Look, right, let me see if I can get there. I know you see all of those inside of Egypt, but it's a lie. It's a lie. It's really in Texas. Oh, they made it up. They made it up. The Egyptians, who were at one point the most knowledgeable people on planet Earth, did not do anything or left anything for mankind. That's what people will have you believe if they say Egypt is in Texas. Or the white man scavenged all of the Egyptian stuff that they left in Texas and put a city on top of it. I don't know how they want to word it. I would say that these artifacts stand. These Egyptians left things for generations upon centuries of generations to see about their culture. And I'm not going to take anything that these Egyptians did away. These mummies and all of this stuff found, I'm not going to say that they're lying and they did this and that. This guy's up on the water taking a picture with this. I'm not going to say that all of this, look, the Great Sphinx that everybody know about. I'm not going to say that all of these things, these metals and all of these pictures and places and all of these artifacts are lies and this place is really in America. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Now, they can make believe what color the people is and they can change how a person looks all day, but you can't destroy the artifacts. You can't take the information away from people. And that's what we have here. Information. We have artifacts. We actually have black Egyptians right here. So we have all of the statues and stuff, and I'm not going to look, we got more black Egyptians right here. So I'm not going to overlook all of this stuff. Look, we got more black Egyptians right here. So more black right here. Right here. And there's a difference between a river, ocean, and a lake. We're not going to do that either. So now we got more black people right here. So I'm supposed to overlook all of this black people, showing you that the ancient Egyptians were black people. I'm supposed to overlook all of this information with all of this stuff that these black people did. They built all of this stuff that's still significant today. I'm supposed to overlook all of that stuff and say, nah, really, Egypt is in Texas. The white man created these images and said that they was black people, and they said black people did that stuff, and they're really lying about it. They're in Texas, and they left nothing behind, and you have no way to prove that they was in Texas except by a person who doesn't know the Bible is telling you that this is in Texas. This is what we're supposed to do. Look, more black people. Look, more black people. More black people. More black people. More black people. More territories, more this, more that. At the end of the day, I can show 1,000,000 proofs. Look, map of ancient Greece. This is how they think ancient Greece looked. And this is their armor and all of that stuff. And then look, we actually have black people in ancient Greece also. So we still have, and then we have white people also in ancient Greece, which would be pretty much what the Bible is actually talking about. There would be the Hellenized Jews as well as the Japhet line being in one place together. You have your artifacts also. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's Alexander the Great. Well, I was just telling this actually his how he was supposed to look and how he destroyed Tyre. I think that's it. I think I'm finna end it. I'm gonna end it with this because at the end of the day, oh no, I got two things and then I'm gonna end it. Let's go here first. A PDF. It's called They Came Before Columbus. This is about the black people who came over to the Americas before Columbus. Yes, there's information out there about this. All we gotta do is read it. All right, so now let's see here. Let's see where I want to start. Thus, we have a picture of the culture complex of this period and the pressure that it made necessary for Taharka to entry with the Phoenicians under the noses of the Assyrians. It is during this period that we find Levanta in the Gulf of Mexico, a complex of figures that were associated in the Nubian, Egyptian, Mediterranean milieu of that period. 4 massive Negroid stone heads in Egyptian-type helmets and a Mediterranean-type figure standing behind them, carved out of a steel, with a flowing beard, Semitic nose, and turned up shoes. So it just let it be known right there that the Semitic of the O's were actually Negroid. So, also we find overwhelming, I'm finna hit there right now. Also, we find overwhelming evidence of African Egyptian cultural features, some of which was lapped in Egypt for centuries, but enjoyed a revival in the Nubian period. Features which had long, complex evolution in the Mediterranean, but seem to have emerged full-born with no archaeological layer of antecedents in the American world. We are later to find bits and pieces dispersing from the initial point of contact, a model of the Phoenician god Melkart and Rayas Balsas. Mexico, identification of Hittite glyphs on obsidian disc or coin. So we have the Hittites, some of the Hittites which we find in the Bible. Some of their archaeological evidence was left in Mexico, but also of the most remarkable combinations in one single place. A number of reliefs of Negroid dancers side by side with the release of Assyrian style, which style was introduced among the Nubian Egyptian models of gods at these by Taharka's black deputy of the south. A representation of the god Ra in the bird aspect and sculpture of the Egyptian Sphinx. All right, so what I just read was they was telling pretty much how they was finding things in Mexico that they were finding things in Mexico that resemble the Egyptian culture. Once again, they was finding things in Mexico that resembled the Eastern culture. So they knew the distinction between the Egyptian culture. They went to Egypt. They came from Egypt to understand the Egyptian culture. They didn't go to where we at. They didn't go to Kentucky or Tennessee and said, hey, these came from the Americas. No, they said these are Egyptian culture. And if you actually go through this, because it's called They Came Before Columbus, it lets you know how the route that the Egyptians actually came over to the Americas. This is why, and you can read, you can get it. Let me get close to it so you can actually see it. Get that. It's a PDF. You can download it, and you can download it to African Presence in America. So you can get both of those. So this is the point. This is the point. They actually tell you how they walked through it and how the Egyptians came over to the Americas and they brought some of their tradition with them. So they created some of the things that they found in these mountains that resemble Egyptian styles and structures. It's because Egyptians made this. They do like any other people do. When they go to a different place, they take that culture with them. So this is why you have an Egyptian presence in some of these mountains, because the Egyptians migrated over here and created that presence. So no, this place wasn't originally Egyptians. No, this place wasn't originally Egypt and Israel. No, these people migrated over here and brought some of their cultures and custom with them. Y'all can actually just go through it. I showed you the PDF, and it has some information in it, and it actually lets you know the similarities between what they found in the Americas as well as what they found that came from Egypt, and it's letting you know that all of these things are from black people. So, and y'all see it right here. The pyramids of America, like those of ancient Egypt, serve as a temple tomb, which means that there were two types of pyramids. You had pyramids in America, and they resemble the pyramids in Egypt. The pyramids in America resemble the pyramids in Egypt. Why? Once again, class, because the Egyptians came over with their culture and turned America, or the places that they migrated to in America, to their culture, or having their custom. So no, these people wasn't originally here. They came from the East, and they brought their culture with them. It's all right here. This is called history, and then people are going to say, oh, they made it up. They created all of that stuff. All that is fake. They want you to believe, not to trust your senses, not to trust your own understanding. These are people who have not studied history. They haven't really looked at any documentaries that was not biased, and they're learning from people who have an agenda. If a person has the agenda to show you that America is really Egypt, then that's what they're going to teach you from. They're not going to tell you unbiased information. See, I'm going from different places, different books, different sites. You can believe what you want to believe, but I'm not going to try to make somebody believe it just because I say it. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you proof on top of proof. So that's what I'm doing. So I done went through 8, 9 books. So now let's see if I can wrap this up now. And look, and when they get mad, they call names. Look, our pyramids are older, stupid. You see, when they can't dispute the information, they call names. It's okay. They can call names. It's okay, because once again, look, I got books on top of books. I can go through the Mankind book to show you, once again, for some reason, how they felt that Rome and Africa and all them places looked. They have all these pictures and places and information and drawings. Sorry, and how I can go to other American fascinated Indian heritage and just go through how the United States was actually mapped out dealing with the different Native American tribes. And you're not going to find anything Egyptian or Israelite here. These are their tribes. And then I can go through how they was actually dealing with the populace. And then, I can go through this and just more documentation and archaeological evidence and where they found this information at. And none of this stuff is America centered. That would be ancient Egypt also. Once again, y'all, thank y'all for allowing me to go through some of the books that I had. And I didn't get to crack open a lot of them. Y'all see, I still got a nice little chunk that I could have went to. I went through my whole ancient Rome novel to show you how they mapped out the old world to look during their time and during their rulership, and what they made stones and stuff out of, which is not American, and how close Rome was compared to America than Rome is compared to the United States. Mr. Bell done already showed y'all. But the last thing I want to read, which is from the book Voices of the Old South, Eyewitnesses Accounts between 1528 and 1861. This for my people who got a problem with Christianity. All right. Page 172. Let me try to read it. Letter from Father Lee Petit, missionary, to Father whatever that is, Procurator of the Missions in North America, July 12, 1730, in the Jesuit Relations and Allied Documents, Travels and Explorations of the Jesuit Missionaries in New France, 1610 through 1791. Let's just read a statement that came from one of his letters about the Native Americans. The Natchez religion retained more of its prehistoric character than the other southern Native American peoples. Although the French were horrified by several aspects of Natchez religion, especially the practice of human sacrifice, they were much impressed with Natchez ritualism, particularly in the service to their temple. Perhaps the missionaries respected Natchez religion precisely because they identified with the formalism, which was absent of unrecognizable in the religion of the Natchez neighbors. Native American religion in general was confusing to Europeans, who could identify neither its forms nor character. Natchez practice, on the other hand, were overt manifestations of their belief system, even if the beliefs themselves remain elusive to European understanding. Let's see what we can say. This nation of savages, they call them savages, inhabits one of the most beautiful and fertile countries in the world, and is the only one in the continent which appears to have any regular worship. Their religion, in certain points, is very similar to that of ancient Romans. I wonder why. They have a temple filled with idols, which are different figures of men and of animals, and for which they have the most profound veneration. This was between 1730. This was 1730. So they were doing a lot of idolatry, going against Torah then. But let's read. The fathers of families did not fail to carry to the temple the first of their fruits, their corns and vegetables. They was practicing the first fruits, temple worship. Sounds like an Israelite to me. But let's hit something dealing with Christianity real fast. Gideon Johnston was a missionary in South Carolina. Johnston as commissionary. All right, let's keep that. As spokesperson for the colony's SPG missionaries, Johnston in 1713 drew up a list of grievances in a response to the instruction received by the clergy from the SPG. So this is something that happened in 1713. This is for my people against Christianity. Okay, for my people against Christianity, let's see what a missionary in the 1700s said about Christianity. This is third thing. Thirdly, the masters of slaves are generally of opinion that a slave grows worse by being a Christian. And therefore, instead of instructing them in the principles of Christianity, which is undoubtedly their duty, they malign and introduce those that attempt it. This I say in the case of most masters. However, I must not forget to do justice to some who have distinguished themselves by a contrary practice and are very eminent for the care they take about their slaves in matters of religion. The legislator does not countenance or encourage a work in this importance as much as it should or could. The conversion of slaves is thought inconsistent with the planner's secular interest and advantage, and it is they that make up the bulk of our assembly. For besides the general notion that they have their slaves being worse for being Christians, they know that if they would encourage their conversions, they must allow them some reasonable time for their instruction, and this would consequently be a hindrance to their work and an abatement of the master's profits. So, let's keep reading. And though this is not openly owned and avowed to be the true cause of that lukewarmness, or rather unwillingness, they express on this occasion, yet I may venture to say this so at the bottom, nor can some of them forbear to speak out of their minds, though they endeavor to justify and excuse themselves by pretending that the slaves, the Negroes especially, are a wicked, stubborn race of men, and could never be true converts, though to gull and deceive their masters, they may put on an air and appearance of religion, and hence they conclude that it is not only a sensible loss to them, but likewise so much time and pains thrown away to no purpose. So, they did not like, the slave master did not like the slaves to become Christians. Because when a slave became a Christian, they start doing Christian things. Like, now, I want to pray. I want to worship. I want to You know, they had the thing about the Sabbath. I want to keep this. I don't want to work 7 days a week. I want to do this and this and that. I have a God that I got to pray to. I got a God that has my back. I got a God I can talk to when things get hard. I can pray for the destruction of my enemies. I can pray for justice. So, Christianity wasn't in the interest of the slave master. Now, I have the documented proof. So that's for my people who wants to go against Christianity. Voices of the Old South. So, I proved a lot of things. You can believe it or not. I pulled a lot of information over and over from a lot of different sources. I showed everybody what I was reading from. I wasn't making it up. So now I'm going to put all my books back where I got them from. You can believe what you want to believe. You can believe what these people are saying. I'm just saying, if they ain't putting in the work behind this, I don't need someone to get behind it and improve their ideology. I need someone to tell me the truth and show me how it's the truth. Don't give me something that don't pan out and think that I'm going to be like everybody else and believe it, because I'm not going to be like everybody else. I have sense. The Most High gave me a brain to use. So if something don't make sense, I'm not going to put it in there and make it make sense. I'm going to look at it. So, no. I'm going to show you what don't make sense, and I got to go. That map doesn't make sense. Okay? It never will. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't pan out. One thing can't be true. All of it got to be true. All or nothing. So, I said, check our book, When the Rocks Cry Out by Horace Butler. Good information, check it out. Okay then, well, yes ma'am, I will indeed. Let me pull up my plethora of books that I had to pull out. And I love you all. Thank y'all for listening. I don't know if anything got accomplished, but like I said, I was able to show what I was coming from, and anybody can believe it. Take it or leave it. I came up with the information. All right, love you all, and I gotta go. Shalom.